Hello, everyone, and welcome to the latest episode of SUGTalks. I'm Craig Dale, your host, and together with our special guest, we'll take a deep dive into the topics, challenges, and opportunities facing SAP users today. Please make sure you do hit that subscribe button so you never miss another episode. I'm delighted today to be joined by Holly Evans, SAP Manager at Shoosmiths, and Ian Stubbings, Platform Engineering Lead at BP. So welcome to you both.
Hello, thank
Hello.
you.
In today's episode, we're going to be giving you a preview of what to expect from TechX at Connect, an official tour stop of TechEd on Tour, which will see a host of technical sessions hosted by SAP experts at UK&I Connect at the beginning of December. And we'll be giving you an overview of some of the topics that will be discussed. However, before we get into that, I just thought I'd ask you both, and just sticking to an educational theme here, what was your favourite or least favourite subject at school? So while you think about that, I detested geography. And it's amazing now because when I travel, I think I wish I'd took more notice of geography while I was actually at school. But I think it was the teacher, to be honest. I really didn't get on well with the teacher. I hated the subject, mainly because of that, I think. Anyway, Holly.
I quite enjoyed geography actually, and my geography is awful, so I don't know what I learned, but I did enjoy it. Art was probably my favourite, I would say. I was quite creative at school. I did enjoy art. Least favourite was languages. I'm terrible. Terrible at French, terrible at German.
It's one of the things, though, isn't it, with languages specifically? We kind of don't, I don't think we put the importance on them as other countries around the world because the world's language tends to be English, especially in the world of business. So, Ian.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, the subjects that I was worst in was German. So I got a U at O level in German. I thought, oh, I'll never need that anyway. Then spent 4 years in the army in Germany, and then of course an SAP developer reading German code. Great. One of the biggest regrets, I suppose you could say. Yes.
Oh, thank you. Oh, that's amazing. It's amazing how life pans out, isn't it? It really is. So getting on to our subject in hand, I just wondered, just to start things off, Ian, could you give us an overview of who TechX at Connect is aimed at?
Well, generally, of course, tech ed, technical education, as it is short for, then is aimed at the more technical folk of the SAP audience. Primarily, I would say developers, but that's not to say we should exclude basis guys, maybe security guys, etc. as well. I mean, I do notice that on the agenda this year that we do have a specific session all about Terraform and infrastructure as code. And this is something that our in-house basis guys are actually using within our AWS environments. And there's also a specific security session as well. So yeah, primarily developers, but let's not exclude security guys and basis guys as well.
Oh, well, thank you. And Holly, anything to add to that?
Yeah, I think Ian's right. It's definitely aimed at more the technical side, but I wouldn't let that put anyone off if they were a non-technical background and wanted to attend any of the sessions we've got coming up.
Thank you. And just staying with you, Holly, if I may, how does TechX, I suppose, differ from our usual Connect program?
I think it's the fact that it is aimed more at the technical background. I think there's more. I think you delve a little bit deeper, maybe, into some of the topics in the sessions, more than the high-level things that are at Connect.
Thank you. Ian?
Yeah, I think it's a really good compliment actually. Generally, of course, Connect is it's more focused at users, being a user group. So there is, of course, the technical slants to TechX anyway. So I think it's a really good complement to get a different type of audience along to the event as well. And like Holly says, just because you are not technical, you may want to understand a bit more about the technical side of it. We have, of course, had in the past UX specific sessions anyway, both hands-on and lectures, so which are more technical than some of the sessions that go on anyway, and I've run a couple of more technical things as well. So there has been an element there before, but of course the actual TechX event itself takes it to the next level realistically, which is, for me personally, is really encouraging.
Well, thank you. And yeah, that, I suppose that blend of into one event for the business side of the user group membership and the technical side, and bringing it all together into one event, as you say. And you mentioned it, Ian, and I did in the intro, and obviously this spurns out of TechEd, and there's going to be, I believe, 4 TechEd on tour stops around the globe, including America, Australia, UK, and also Germany. And how do you feel that TechX at Connect complements SAP's annual TechEd event?
So I think it's really good to have an in-person event again, actually. I mean, TechEd itself ran for, I think it was 24 years. I don't think they quite managed the 25. And then COVID hit, and then it's been virtual only really ever since. I think maybe they came back in the US, didn't they? But certainly not in Europe anyway. Although I think the DSAG guys had a kind of event there, and maybe the SAP Insider as well. But it's really good to have an in-person event back again. So yeah, I'm really keen to attend actually, and encouraging colleagues to attend it as well, seeing as it is at least local ish anyway to us, so we can at least get along to it and have an in-person event again.
Oh, great. And Holly, anything to add?
Yeah, I mean, I think it could be really beneficial for organisations to be able to send both technical and business users, your IT managers, your SAP team to the same event, potentially in the same sessions or even attending different sessions and then discussing them, when they meet up later on in the day. So I think it'd be really beneficial.
Well, I suppose with the SAP kind of TechX lectures and hands-on labs, along with the other 13 streams, there's lots of choice there. So yeah, bring as many people as you want along. Let's see if we can completely fill the venue and give me another headache. Have you either of you attended TechEd in the past?
Yeah, I have. Not for a long time. I had to Google it to find out actually. It was Amsterdam. I thought it was probably more like 2016, 2017, but I was horrified to find out it was actually 2013 that I must have gone to that event. And then Barcelona, maybe the year or the year before that as well. So I've been on a couple of times, but not for a long time. But fantastic events. Really good to be able to see, the SAP mentors, all the SAP employees, the product owners, face to face. A good escape from the daily grind, really, to then attend the hands-on lectures themselves, where you've got a couple of hours of dedicated time to go through tutorials that you always struggle to find time for, I suppose, in the daily activities. So it's really good to immerse yourself realistically in the environment for a couple of days, and just focus on nothing else really but education and networking as well, with your own colleagues, but also people from other companies as well as the SAP guys. Yeah, so really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I suppose so. I'm looking at the structure, that we've been working on with SAP there. So in the exhibition hall, we will have what they call the SAP TechEx Garage, which is obviously gives you drop-in, hands-on access and support from the SAP experts, along with, as mentioned before, lectures and hands-on labs. So lots happening there. Has there been any, I suppose, other than what you mentioned, Ian, any key valuable elements that you've taken from previous TechEd visits?
Oh, now we are going back a long time, of course. So,
I can imagine. I can imagine. Well, okay. Let me just look at that a bit differently then. What are the differences? So I've mentioned the lectures. We've got a whole stream on lectures. I think there's 17 lectures in the program, and there are, I believe, 6 hands-on labs. So how do they differ?
So generally the lectures are more high level. They tend to be anyway. Whereas the hands-on sessions really get into the weeds, into the nitty-gritty of a particular technology and a particular scenario. Quite often, they certainly have been in the past that you may have one of the tutorials from developers.sac.com. And they will go through one of those, so you're really in depth and have got the opportunity to work through all of the problems, with an SAP lecturer there to help you out, plus a team of people as well. Similar to some respects, really, with the sessions that Holly and Steve have run in the past anyway for the UX side of things.
Yeah.
That they will, of course, be there and helping people out in the audience to go through the tutorials, but in a really good environment. So you can make mistakes, you can get help when you are stuck. So absolutely ideal, yeah. So they both, they both serve their purposes depending on which level you want to, get down into it, whether it is in the weeds or you just want, more of an idea of that particular tool or technology.
Mm-hmm. So I suppose if you look at that then, so you've got TechEd Virtual, which is coming up shortly, which allows you to get kind of a high-level understanding of the topic areas, and then by going along to the TechEd tour stop, so for instance in the UK, TechX at Connect, you're able to get a deeper understanding, but also the ability to get hands-on with the different solutions and different areas, and also, like you mentioned earlier, I think network and speak to the actual experts in the room, in person.
Absolutely, yes, yeah, which is really important. If you've been watching a lecture or something on one of the TechEd sessions, and then that same person possibly, or a member from the developer advocates team may be present at the TechX event anyway. So then at least you've got that direct connection to be able to ask them questions. Yeah, so absolutely ideal that it follows on from the main TechEd virtual as well.
Thank you. And Holly, what do you see as perhaps the most popular technical topics around the UK community at the moment?
I think there's probably quite a few. I'd say for us at the moment, you're looking at SAP Build. We're looking at AI, the uses of BTP, how to make the most of that. We've started on that journey, and it's how to make the most of it. Data is obviously a big one as well. How we best render that for the business.
Clean core is a big one for us. I don't know whether it is for you, Holly, but yeah, clean core is massive at the moment.
It's spoke about a lot. Everyone likes it. I think it's quite a difficult thing to achieve, depending on your industry. But yeah, it is the ideal.
Yeah, I suppose that's why it's getting so much attention for us at the moment.
Yes,
Is
definitely.
so difficult to achieve, and whether it's greenfield, brownfield, something in between. But yeah, with key sessions that I would see is around clean core, developer extensibility, key user extensibility, integration, of course. So BTP integration suite, I would imagine will get a lot of attendees because, of course, for side-by-side extensibility, you need the integration from your back-end system into BTP or elsewhere. AI, massive, of course, as well, as Holly mentioned. Yeah, so I'm sure that's going to get a lot of focus as well. I'm really keen to see what they're doing in ABAP AI, because that's released next year. So hopefully we'll get some good previews, some good demos at TechX.
So lots of key topics then out there in the marketplace, and hopefully we're capturing the vast majority of them in the programs.
We know our community, but we don't know yours yet. Why not share the benefits of your UK&I Sub membership with those who don't know about us? The UK&I Sub referral scheme rewards you for helping to grow and develop our community. You can check out the link in the description to find out more about how you can get involved. Terms and conditions apply. We hope you enjoy the rest of the podcast.
So if we look at TechEx Connect program, which topics are you looking forward to the most, Holly?
I think I'm always a big fan of the hands-on sessions. So there is a hands-on session on the Sunday, which is build your own generative AI scenario. Really looking forward to that one. I'll definitely be attending that. There's a lecture on the BTP and the strategy, the vision, where it's going next. So that would be a key one. And another hands-on session, which is exploring SAP DataSphere and cloud analytics. They would be my top 3 if I had to choose.
Lovely. Ian?
I would probably have to pick the future-proof your SAP PIPO investments with SAP Integration Suite. So I've done a little bit of work with Integration Suite, cloud integration, API management, but it would be nice to get back into the thick of it again on that session. And Holly also mentioned SAP Analytics Cloud. So we do have that. We've had that for a few years, and a colleague of mine is in deep in that area. Hopefully he'll be coming along anyway. But it's probably a good opportunity for me to have a couple of hours hands-on in that session as well. So to get to learn a little bit more about it. Yeah. So those would be the 2 that I would pick.
Oh, thank you both. And just, I suppose, shifting slightly at the moment and to look at the developer community that you mentioned earlier on specifically, what are some of the challenges facing the SAP developer community currently?
Well, as we mentioned, clean core. The massive shift from what is now deemed as legacy code into ABAP for cloud development. So that is a huge shift for a lot of people in being able to develop in what's known as tier 1 nowadays, and leaving behind the old school ECC type development. So yeah, that is the big thing in the developer community at the moment. I suppose also making sure that you broaden your horizons, moving away from just being an ABAPer, maybe to understand more about JavaScript and TypeScript for CAP development. Python as well, of course, big in the data area, so DataSphere, you can use Python in DataSphere. So yeah, I would say trying to modernize your development practices and branching out into other languages as well.
Thank you. Holly, anything to add?
Yeah, I think it'd probably be upskilling. Similar to what Ian said, things are changing rapidly. We need to keep up with the curve. Making sure everyone's got the tools that they need, but have the time to learn these things and then the use cases to put them into practice, which is always a tricky thing to balance.
Thank you. And so just on kind of some of the subjects you were talking about earlier, many of the TechX sessions will be touching on AI and probably specifically through the business technology platform. You mentioned it as one of your target sessions, Holly. Do you feel this technology is causing a shift within the SAP sector?
Yeah, I think it is, and I think it will continue to cause a shift going forward. I don't think it's going to stop. We're already using AI. We are using it in parts for writing some ABAP code. It can help with that already. So yeah, I think it will just increase, day by day.
Thank you. Ian?
Yeah, obviously AI is big news outside of SAP as well as inside as well. We've used internally GitHub Copilot, which is great for other languages, realistically, but not so good at ABAP generally, I would say. So it's really nice to see that SAP are grasping this tricky subject and producing some ABAP-specific AI coming up next year. So that's good. Obviously, we've got SAP Gold Code already, so I've used that of a limited fashion, I suppose you could say. But the reports that I've had fed back is that massively useful to have these AI-assisted co-pilots, if you like, which is absolutely what they are. They are co-pilots. They don't take over. They just assist you with speeding up your development, generating the code or unit test cases, which is great, and test data as well, just so some of those problematic areas realistically to expedite your development. So yeah, definitely very keen.
Thank you both. And so obviously TechEx at Connect is exactly what it says on the tin. It's at Connect. So obviously the UK Should Connect conference, which you'll both be attending, and obviously attending TechEx while you're there. What else apart from TechEx, I suppose, are you looking forward to at Connect, Ian?
Am I allowed to say that it'll be the party on the Monday?
You're allowed to say anything.
I've never really attended it that much in the past because I've always been, running a lecture or something like that first thing on the Tuesday morning. So I've always been very good and not let myself go, shall we say?
Oh, fantastic! Oh, I look forward to that, Holly.
I also will be looking forward to the SUGFest. It's a very good evening, but also the networking with new people you've met along the years, ex-colleagues, existing colleagues. So yeah, definitely the networking.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and just to add on that, I suppose what I'm hoping to see is some of the ex-colleagues perhaps that I haven't seen for a while from the developer community in the UK of hopefully coming out of the woodwork to attend the event as well. That would be really good to see some of the old guys.
Oh, fantastic. Hopefully we can get many out of the woodwork and along to Birmingham between the 1st and 3rd of December. And, if our listeners would like further information on Connect and TechEx at Connect, do pop along to our website at sapusers.org and follow the link to Connect, where you'll be able to see everything in more detail, including a full agenda of everything that's coming up across the 15 streams, including TechEx at Connect. And just before we close, Holly and Ian, is there anything that perhaps we haven't touched on with regards to TechEx, or any specific subjects you'd just like to leave our listeners with at all?
I mean, I would say it's definitely worth, speaking to your organisation, popping along. It is the first time it's going to be at Connect in Birmingham, so not to be missed, I would say.
Absolutely. Yeah, I've spoken to my management about it as well and just encouraged them to basically use this as a bit of a team building event as well, because we don't tend to go to many conferences. There aren't really that many that we can attend as a group anyway. So this would be absolutely right there in perfect scenario for us realistically. So yeah, that's my takeaway.
The more the merrier.
Yes,
Oh,
absolutely.
indeed. Well, Holly, Ian, thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your insights, and lovely to have you on today. And thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed the conversation and found it valuable. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our future episodes. And until the next time, stay well, stay connected, and expand your horizons.